They called her time of death at 3:01, and I don't know why I remember that. I just do.
Micah Terry was 6 months old when she died, strapped to a car seat, left behind in her father's pickup truck.
He just kept saying, I killed my baby, and I didn't want to hear that. No, it's okay. And he said, I'm sorry, over and over and over again.
It's a tragedy that unfortunately plays out with alarming frequency across the United States.
Just something that people think could absolutely never happen to them, and we were one of them.
In the past decade, about 340 children have died of heat exhaustion while trapped inside scorching vehicles.
In the first 10 minutes, the average temperature rises 19 degrees. And after half an hour, it's up about 34 degrees. After an hour's time, it's sort of, the temperatures plateau at 45 to 50 degrees above the ambient air.
Some of these children crawled into cars or trucks on their own, but most were forgotten by a caregiver.
Usually what happens in these cases is there's been a change in routine, and maybe mom's usually the one who drops off, and that day dad drops off.
It's a carelessness that undoubtedly leads to a lifetime of guilt.
There's nothing you can do to me that I'm not punishing myself.
And in some cases, prison time. But an Associated Press analysis has uncovered vast variations in the penalties for these careless caregivers. Looking at more than 300 cases dating back to 1998, the AP discovered that mothers are treated much more harshly than fathers. Moms were jailed 59% of the time, compared to 47% for dads. And the median or typical sentence was 3 years for fathers, but 5 for mothers.
Does that say that our society, hold women or mothers to a higher standard than they do fathers? I mean, that's kind of one of the only conclusions you would have to come to.
And while paid caregivers are jailed at about the same rate as parents, their median sentence was just 12 months. A relatively small number of cases, about 8%, involved drugs or alcohol. The awful truth, experts say, is that the stressed-out brain can bury thoughts, whether it's something as trite as a coffee cup or as crucial as a baby.
Beforehand, I was the guy that if it happened, I'm like, what in the heck were you thinking? Or, how could you do that?
And in an effort to keep their children away from bursting airbags, many drivers now keep their youngsters in the back seat, facing the rear of the car.
It tells you to put your seatbelt on when you start the car, and when you turn your car off, it tells you your keys are in the car. Why not tell you that the seatbelt's still buckled?
For the Terrys, there was no prosecution and no prison, but the memory of a daughter they'll never see again.
She's not here. She's no longer a part of our lives. And right now she should be a 2.5-year-old aggravating the crap out of her older sisters.
John Belmont, The Associated Press.